Hey there, welcome to another episode of Cooking with Violet Vixen. This evening we are doing risotto and it is called mixed mushroom risotto. It will serve four. Here's what we need. Now, as like most risottos, you will need a ladle, a stirring spoon, a small saucepan, and a heavy large saucepan. So you're going to use one saucepan to heat the stock. That's where the ladle comes in. And then you're going to use your heavy base saucepan for cooking the risotto in, and you need your stirring stick for that. Anyway, come on in. I will talk you through this. Let's go. So first of all, you need a litre of salt reduced vegetable stock. This is not salt reduced, but I used the chicken one the other week and it was really good. So I'm sticking with this one. Plus I buy this one from work, so that's good. 1 tablespoon of olive oil. We're officially into our new bottle of olive oil. I should probably write the date that I open it on it so that I can remember, but I'll get round to that. 60 grams of butter. Now it has been a humid sort of a day, so I've just had that out in a jug. It's not melted yet. 1 garlic clove crushed. I haven't crushed it yet, but it is peeled and ready to go. 1 onion finely chopped. That is in there. 200 grams of mixed mushrooms sliced. Now I brought more than 200 grams of mixed mushrooms, and I also brought Swiss brown, which Swiss brown are like a button mushroom, but they're brown. And then your button mushroom is your white ones that are small, like a button. 1.5 cups of arborio rice. I still had arborio rice left, so I didn't need to buy any more of that. That is in there. 1/3 of a cup of white wine. Had enough left. I wasn't sure if I would have, so that's just one that I picked up from Aldi. It's in there. I don't drink wine unless it's like a social gathering or something. So for cooking, I just generally use the cheapest wine I can get, which is fine. It works good. 2 tablespoons of snipped chives. These have been in the freezer. I'm not even going to measure it because I'm just going to use all of that up. And a cup of grated parmesan to serve. Now that has been in the freezer, but I've popped it in a container to start and defrost it. All right, so as I said, it's fairly straightforward. Good thing about risotto is it is straightforward. The bad thing about risotto is it is time consuming. But the results are worth it. So it will make 4 servings. So first up, we are going to get our stock into a simmer. So grab your small saucepan. So you want one that will hold a litre. No point in getting one that doesn't hold a litre because we're going to put this on to boil. So I've decided to go to using this rather than the stock powder because the stock powder always gets all lumpy and clumpy, doesn't dissolve, and if I need a litre, the only time I will use the other one, the powder, is if I only need a cup. But if you need a litre, you buy a litre. Easy. All right, and that one is a really good one too. So I'm going to pop that one on to start and simmer now, and I'll be back. So this is our heavy base saucepan. I like this one because it's lower down, so it's great for when I'm filming so that I can show you what's going on inside it. Excuse me. So first of all, in here we are going to add the oil, which was 1 tablespoon. Oh, I've just taken the pourer nozzle off that I couldn't get off last week. Oh, I don't know. Couldn't get that pourer nozzle off last week. That's what happens when I buy fancy olive oil, hey? And there are fancier bottles. All right, so that's that one. And we are going to add 40 grams of the butter. Now just have a really good guess. I think when I did it, no, that was nearly 60 grams. Never mind. Grab a knife. So we're just leaving a little bit for the top. So I'd say we'll just leave that much. Okay, it is starting to melt in there, which is great. Okay, so we're going to put this on. So let's go over to the stovetop. So that's in there. We're going to let that start to melt, and then we're going to do the next step. I'm just going to add the onion in now while the butter's melting. Now, I haven't chopped mine up super fine. Onions make me cry. And then the garlic, which I've had for a while, but it's still okay. We just pop into a garlic presser. We're just going to squash that in now too. I think it's okay. Just looks a little bit discoloured. Should be fine. Okay, I don't use a lot of garlic. I really wish that I could buy less garlic. Probably have to see if I can now. I just get literally what I need. Okay, now we're going to give that a bit of a stir with our stirring stick so it looks like that. Okay, so we want to cook this for about 3 minutes, but we don't want the onions to burn. So once it starts to get going, we will turn it down because we don't want burnt onions. We want them just soft. That's why they're being cooked in butter, so they'll go soft. So when everything's smelling fragrant, in go our mushrooms. And as I said, this is more than 200 grams. To me, 200 grams of mushrooms isn't much. So I just grabbed a handful of each of the two that I mentioned in the intro, which was Swiss brown and button mushrooms. And I can't remember how much they weighed, but there's definitely more than I need in there, which is fine. So we should be looking like that. I'm going to stir that off for a little while, and then we're going to be ready to add the rice. So a couple of minutes after you've added the mushrooms, in goes our rice, and we want to stir this around for about a minute so that it is white, not the colour that it is when you put it in. So just stir it to coat it with all the pan juices. Beautiful. Now stock's coming up to the boil, so once that comes up to the boil, we will turn it down. So this is why it's very important to make sure that you do get the stock on to simmer early, because otherwise you're going to be ready to go and it's not going to be ready to go. Next up, once we've done that, we will need the wine, and we're going to cook it for 1 to 2 minutes until the wine has evaporated. So let's bring that over. I spilt a little bit then. Haven't done too bad though. So we'll just stir that through. Beautiful. So it should be looking like that. And our stock is just about to come to the boil. So we'll be ready to start and get a ladle full in at a time and start and mix that through. So normally I always say a ladle full. Some recipes might tell you half a cup or a quarter of a cup, but a ladle is the best thing to use because that holds quite a bit of liquid. Ladles aren't just for dishing up soup. All right, so now what I'm going to do, I'll take a bit of stock out. So what I like to do, this is my little tip, is I put them touching each other so that I don't make a mess all over the stovetop. And we grab 1 ladleful, we just drizzle that over the top of the risotto, and we can leave our ladle in there, and we'll turn the stock down to about 2, just so it's a nice simmer. And then what we do is we stir the rice, and as soon as all that liquid absorbs, we put another ladle in. I might actually lift the ladle out, it looks a bit extreme otherwise. So we keep doing that until all the stock is in here. So it may take about 4 minutes in between. You are okay to walk away from it, but if you're a bit unsure, you probably want to just stand here and stir it for the first few times, just while you're getting everything. And keep scraping down the sides of the pan, because the rice stuck up the sides is not going to cook otherwise. This is not something where you're fully submerged with liquid. The liquid generally stays on the bottom, which is why you have to keep stirring. Okay. All right, so once that dissolves, we're going to put another ladle full in. And as you can see, just our stock is bubbling away beautifully. So I'm actually going to turn that down to 1. All right, I will be back when I put the last ladle in. Keep going. Okay, so the last ladleful's gone in now. So it hasn't taken too long. So once that's nearly all absorbed, I'll be back. So when it's got just a little bit of creaminess left to it, like it has now, we are going to add the remaining butter and season. So that's salt and pepper. And then we're going to serve it up with the chives and the parmesan, but I'm just going to put everything into it. So in goes the butter, in goes that butter. That will just make it a little bit more creamier. Gonna crack in some salt and pepper. And then we're going to put the chives in and the parmesan. And then we're ready to dish up. Should sprinkle it on top, but I'm just going to put it inside it. It makes it creamier as well. Okay, so there we have it. Thank you for watching this episode of Cooking with Violet Vixen. This is mixed mushroom risotto. Enjoy, and I'll catch you on the next adventure. Bye.